Hey everyone, welcome to this new moon Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for the new moon for the weekend of September 27th through the 29th of 2019. All right, so time of new beginnings here in grounded Virgo. Time of new beginnings when it comes to creating a bit of structure perhaps in our life, striving towards improvement and refining things, and just getting into that side of ourself that does want to have structure and improvement in our life. So no major aspects with the new moon. We have an opposition up to Chiron, the healing comet, which is in Pisces. And so with this new beginning, it could be good to maybe balance it with some healing, maybe getting some rest, some tranquility into our life, maybe some acceptance and spiritual peace, which can help balance out what can tend to be with Virgo, a lot of that busier energy of doing work and again, building of that structure. So along with this, a very slight conjunction with Mars, maybe a new beginning in a sense with our active side with this, setting some initiative and assertiveness with this new beginning. And and along with this, Venus is going to be sextiling Jupiter on Saturday. So maybe a bit of hopefulness and inspiration regarding our values and relationships kind of going on in the backdrop as we start this new development of Virgo energy. All right, so let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here's the chart for this new moon. It will be on Saturday at 14:30 Eastern Time or 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time of the Americas on, Saturday the 28th. So if you do want to make that calculation for wherever you are in the world, but for all intents and purposes, the new moon will be around this weekend. So subtle new shifts. New moon is a bit of a reset, we could say, for the lunar month. As we approach Saturday, it is a good time of creating some space in our life, maybe finalizing some things from the previous cycle, and just creating a bit of space for these new beginnings, right? So good to sit with the energy and know that it is still the very early phase, even as we go into the early part of next week, in that things don't necessarily just spring up all of a sudden. It does take some time. So it's good to just sit with it, see what new is arising, and maybe setting some intentions for the new lunar month. So in grounded Virgo, this is a new beginning involving the structural side of ourself, the side of ourself that is improvement oriented, is striving towards the details of things and just wants to create a bit of that structure in our life. So if we look at the constellation, the Maiden, we can see that this is what could be said as the perfected human, the person who is striving towards being the best version of themselves or that a human can be, and really refining their life in order to make that happen, right? So Virgo usually symbolizes things like our routine, our diets, our work and our service, right? These kinds of things that do require that improvement nature and the building of structure and getting into the details and analyzing things to make that happen. And sometimes solving problems and fixing things as well in order to, again, strive towards that improvement. So this is the archetype, and it's a great time of just sitting with this and seeing how we can cultivate this side of ourselves over the next lunar month. All right, so along with this, we do have a lot of the fast-moving planets in Virgo. Mars is here, and we do have a slight conjunction with Mars. And so in this sense, it could be a new beginning when it comes to this assertive side of ourselves that maybe over the past week or so has been starting to want to maybe take action in this way, wanting to fix things, improve things, create that structure. So maybe a new beginning with our assertive side, our motivations, maybe our initiative, our drive, our personal needs, maybe some independence, this kind of fiery energy. New beginnings in this grounded and earthy kind of way. We still do, of course, have Venus and Mercury here. So Venus, the planet of our relationships and values, we may notice, as has been the case with this new beginning, a great time of cultivating a bit of the healthy improvement nature of Venus, of our relationships that we can cultivate. So this isn't the most comfortable place for Venus. She's debilitated here in Virgo. But when it does come to our relationships, I think it is good to find that healthy way of striving towards improvement, refinement, maybe connecting with others who also want to fix things or improve things, Maybe it could be through our work or our service that we're forming these connections. So really good to get into this side of things when it comes to those relationships, and just simply valuing and enjoying perhaps a bit of this, structure and detail orientation at this time. Now, the most important of all of these, I would say, is Mercury, who is the dispositor of Virgo, meaning he rules Virgo. And so in this case, it's suggesting that with this new beginning, Mercury here is in a very comfortable placement. So with the new beginning, there is this comfort with it, or at least support with it, in the sense that we could be finding maybe some solutions. Our minds can be quite sharp. We can be thinking very detailed, able to fix things, solve problems, right? This kind of a thing with Mercury exalted here in his very comfortable sign of Virgo. All right, so a lot of planets, a lot of concentration of energy there in this sign, and of course the new beginning suggesting this development over the next lunar month. Now, a minor aspect is involved with it, and this is an opposition up to healing Chiron, who's been transiting Pisces for the past few years now. And so in this sense, it is good to, as it always is, balance the nitty-gritty, detail-oriented energy of Virgo with the accepting, surrendering, and finding peace Pisces, especially if this can be very healing and therapeutic for you. So a great time to balance this work with healing, balance some of this structure with maybe some rest, maybe some of the routine, balance with rest, maybe some spirituality, some acceptance, some trust and surrender regarding the divine process, and again, just fundamentally finding peace, which can be very healing and therapeutic with Chiron here. So always good with oppositions to just find that middle ground, because we don't want to get too much into that improvement structural energy of Virgo, and we don't want to get too far into the escaping or hiding away of Pisces. We do want to find that healthy balance between physical health and spiritual health, between doing and being. Right, this kind of axes here, I think could be very important with this new beginning. All right, so other than this, no other major aspects with the new moon, but we do have an aspect going exact on Saturday, coinciding with the new moon. And this is Venus sextiling up to Jupiter. So although Venus is in that debilitation, she is going to be in harmony with Jupiter around Saturday, meaning that we might be a bit maybe hopeful or open-minded when it comes to our relationships and our values and enjoyments in life, maybe a bit free-spirited in our relationships and enjoyments. So just a bit of expansive energy that we can enjoy there. Nothing major with sextiles, but it is just an opening if we do choose to work with it. It is certainly available around Saturday. All right, so this is the most important thing over the weekend is the new beginning. Again, as we approach Saturday, it is good to do that closeout phase, finalization, create a bit of space for the new beginnings. On Friday, we will be easing up off of some of this energy we probably felt on Thursday, which is Mercury squaring Pluto. If there was anything that was deeper on our minds or anything that involved communication that we were transforming through, there could be a finalization with that on Friday as that aspect does ease up. Maybe even some healing energy when the sun opposed Chiron on Thursday. Could be good for, again, healing, but I think that's a whole weekend that's good for that healing energy, again, with the new moon opposite Chiron. And the moon will still be in Leo on Friday, so great day on Friday for, again, finalizing things, maybe specifically having to do with self-expression or fun, playfulness, our passions. That was the energy of the previous lunar cycle. But yeah, as we approach Saturday, but especially going into Sunday and next week, asking ourselves, how can we cultivate this grounded side of ourself of Virgo, the archetype, the constellation of the maiden, which is about refining ourself, refining our environment, refining our life, so that we can be the best version of ourselves, so our life can be the best version of itself, and getting into that detail-oriented, improvement-oriented nature to make that happen. All right, everyone, so that is the new moon in a nutshell. Now down below there will be a few descriptions of where this new moon will be for each of the signs, so do check that out if you do want to see specifically which house this is for your sidereal signs. And again, we are using sidereal astrology in the system. You will see that the signs are different sizes, which is different from mainstream, so this does change the signs from mainstream astrology if you did notice any changes with that. But I wish you all the very best. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you all on Monday for the daily forecast. Take care.